What is, everyone? Welcome to the Nerd On Update, the weekly show where we talk about the stuff in the news that excites us, and we answer questions from you, the people. And since we don't introduce the hosts, and I always start it off, why don't I go ahead and just jump right in with Josh's news?
Hell yeah.
Yep.
So my news is much shorter just because it's more so announcements that came out today. I'll just start off with the mega bomb. Chris Pratt has been cast as Garfield in an upcoming animated. He's so cool.
He's so cool.
Not
it's
sure.
a Garfield.
Not sure how to feel about it. So especially, I feel like we just reported that he was cast as Mario. So I'm like, okay.
I the way I say it, and I think I Instagrammed it. This man is about to be the voice of an entire generation of children. Like, he is going to be. The only thing I can think about is like Tara Strong or Tom Kenny, right? Of like, they just voice so many people, and it's
all those
like,
people.
But the thing is, like, this is going to be for live action or for a film, right? So I don't know, like Vin Diesel and Iron Giant, right? Like, I don't know that many animated films that was like such like close would probably be like Robin Williams and Genie, right?
Yeah.
But like, the other voice actors I mentioned earlier of like a whole generation were like for animated TV shows. So that's just,
yeah.
I don't know. Part of me kind of hopes that whatever studio owns the rights to Garfield, that's just like a cover up for something dumb and bad. And it's like, this is just a fake.
It makes more sense than Mario to me.
Yeah, I can see that.
If I'm totally transparent, like when someone told me that, I was like, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. That I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, hopefully we'll get that in the future. And Jason Momoa is Frosty the Snowman. Who knows what could happen
Yeah.
in the voiceover world.
My last news is came out just a couple hours ago, actually. Norman Reedus.
Hot off the presses?
Hot off the presses, kind of. Norman Reedus, Sean Patrick Flanery, and director Troy Duffy are reuniting for Boondock Saints 3. I'm super excited because I loved 1. 2 was okay, but I enjoyed it because it was them. I just think that they're so dope.
If you're a fan of the first one, 2 was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm a little bit surprised. I don't know if anybody here has watched the documentary Overnight.
Nope.
It's the making of Boondock Saints, and you learn a lot about Troy Duffy in the first. He wasn't a great guy. Not a very great guy. I'll just put it lightly like that. Great documentary, really interesting. But I was reading through this article, and a lot of people say that he has grown a lot as a person and as a director. So, I mean, I don't remember when the second one. Oh, it was 2009 when the second one came out. So, 12 years. Well, I mean, they don't start shooting until May, so longer. So, I mean, it's interesting. I'm really, really excited to actually have that team together. It sounds like they're all 3 kind of working together to make sure that it's a good script. So yeah, that's exciting. Boondock Saints 3. See what happens.
I know that Billy Connolly, who plays their father in the
spoilers.
I remember, it's not a spoiler.
Over 20-year-old movie.
I can't remember if he's in the second one or not. It's been so long. I've seen the first one a lot. Second one I've only seen once or twice. But I know he's been dealing with health issues. He was diagnosed with Parkinson 5 or 6 years ago, and it's been tough. But I would love like a cameo because I love Billy Connolly. For any of those who don't know who that is from Boondock Saints, if you ever seen Muppet Treasure Island, he's Jim. That's him. The black spot. That's Bill Connolly. He was Blackbeard's first mate, or not Blackbeard.
Bluebeard.
No.
Redbeard.
What's his name? No.
Curly
Davy Jones Lockhart.
No, from Treasure Island, who Tim Curry plays.
Oh, Flying Dutchman. Mr. Krabs.
Anyway, that's Billy Connolly. I hope he makes a cameo that would make just the icing on the cake. He's a wonderful, wonderful
I love the
performer.
first one. I'd love to do an episode on it.
Hey, we'll write it down. Tom, what you got?
We'll add it to the list.
For me, my news is a little interesting. So a while ago, in 2017, Warner Brothers and DC Films released a film known to the world as Justice League, and we all.
Anytime I hear you say 2017, I know what it's gonna be.
It's not going to be the start of Nerd On. It'll be this.
No. After that film had came out and was the lowest grossing film of the DC slate at the time, there was talks that Ava DuVernay was going to work on a New Gods film. If you're not familiar with New Gods, it is a Jack Kirby creation. Fourth World was created because when he left Marvel Comics because he didn't like how they were treating him there, he went over to DC and just created all of this space opera storyline with Highfather, New Genesis, Mr. Miracle, all these people, and that's where Darkseid came from. And when Jack Kirby left DC to go back to Marvel, DC just kind of rolled it into their pantheon of characters, which existed outside their own plane of existence. So they don't exist. There are multiversal entities, so there's one Darkseid in the entire multiverse. So Ava DuVernay is said to write and direct this film after coming off of, I think, A Wrinkle in Time, and which didn't do too well for Disney. Critically and or commercially, regardless, Ava DuVernay is still like a powerhouse name. Recruits Tom King, who is a former counter-terrorist combatant for the CIA, who now has written comic books and is best known for the Eisner-winning comic book Mr. Miracle, and which is dealing with a lot of fourth world or New Gods, and everyone's pretty excited because someone in the comic book world was going into the movies X, Y, and Z. Except that already happened with Jeff Johns, and that's how Justice League became the Justice League in 2017. So a lot of people were just kind of like, I don't know how to feel. That being said, 3-4 years later, recently in 2021, it was announced that these were certain DC films that were canceled, The Trench being one of them. And The Trench, which was James Wan's project, was actually going to be like an Alien-esque movie with Black Manta surviving the trench. Which could have been pretty cool. That being said,
with Yahya, right?
Yeah, Abdul-Mateen II. Yeah, portraying his Black Manta and going through the trench and surviving it.
I want that.
and it'd be cool. But Ava DuVernay recently did, I think, a press junket for maybe one of her projects, or Array, which is her own company that is signal boosting for people who are below the line in production, and a bit like a soundbite permeated through the internet, and it was that there were things happening with other film projects that had her film shelved. A lot of people who are speculating positive things are saying that maybe they just want to see where kind of like the dust settles. A lot of journalists are kind of pointing that the Snyder Cut killed it. A lot of other people on the internet are saying like,
put blame on the Snyder Cut. Sorry.
Yeah, which a lot of people want to ride the narrative that a white man's movie takes away a black woman's movie, which is, I tend to find kind of lazy storytelling or writing and journalistic integrity because, back in 2020 when they announced the Snyder Cut during Fandom or showed a trailer of it, they had already talked about a multiverse. They already had the Joker in the work. They already had the Joker. They were already working on the Batman, so they were already saying like, things don't always have to connect. A lot. It's a very muddy, messy, controversial thing at this point where now people are just getting kind of really crappy about it on the internet, to say the least. So there's just talks about New Gods, where they should be, portraying Darkseid and how that should be. And it's just interesting if you look at the timeline when people found out, like after 2017, but before, like, let's say 2019, that Darkseid was supposed to be in the film Granny Goodness and Desaad, and Ava DuVernay's film was supposed to also have Darkseid, Highfather, Mr. Miracle, Big Barda, the Furies. It's just kind of like, there's not a real reason why they should have just canceled the film, other than like, I mean, if people like one thing, they get to have both. They already have 2 Flashes, and they had a scene where both of them were coexisting. We already have 3 Batmen, which is Keaton, Ben Affleck, and Robert Pattinson. So it's very weird. That being said, the second part is also weird fandom news where a lot of people are being very, very impatient with the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer and going on to all these Sony videos and trailers on their YouTube channel for Morbius and films like Uncharted and disliking it and saying they need to release the Spider-Man trailer, which has been seen before. People who want to kind of besmirch anything will kind of like find something to trash, like Captain Marvel was getting review bombed before the movie came out. People were going on the IMDb page, trying to have trying to lower the grade for Godzilla,
exactly,
versus Kong. So it's a tough time. It's a tough time right now. To be a fan and see all that stuff happen. So,
oh my gosh!
Moral lesson of the day: don't be stupid, as Philip DeFranco says.
It's like Mr. Incredible when Incredible, he's like, Incrediboy, he's like, you're not affiliated with me. That's how I feel about some fandoms.
Yeah.
I'm a Star Wars fan. Isn't Star Wars pretty toxic? Yeah, down with there. You're not affiliated with me. I love Star Wars.
Yeah. So there's that. Don't be shitty and call people out on their bullshit. Who's next?
That would be Corey.
That would be me with the final news. Oh my, leaks galore for a new game coming from Warner Brothers called Multiversus. It is a Smash Brothers inspired platformer that has yet to be confirmed. However, Warner Brothers keeps striking any YouTube video that has the leaked images involved. So we're going to go ahead and not use those in our video today. But a big leak was that there was a screen grab of the roster. And if this is confirmed to be true, it's pretty exciting. So far, we have who you might think from Warner Brothers. We have things like Batman, Wonder Woman, Harley Quinn, Superman. But then it kind of dips further into their portfolio of characters with things like Bugs Bunny, Tom and Jerry, Jake and Finn from Adventure Time, Steven Universe, and Gandalf the Grey. So it's
we know Corey's main already.
Exciting. We know my main. So obviously people are assuming there's going to be some Harry Potter characters in there as well. There's also some leaks talking about LeBron James being a DLC download in the future. And they are going to be using, from what it looks like in the leaks, Smash Brothers in basically they're fighting programming as well. So it's going to be
so it's Space Jam the video game.
Yeah, Space Jam the video game, using all the Warner Brothers property, much like Nickelodeon's recent one as well. So
cool.
They're jumping in and they're throwing it all in. Gandalf surprised me. I'll be really honest with you. All the other ones really made sense. Shaggy didn't make too much sense, but there you have it. More and more leaks are coming out as we speak. Again, nothing's been confirmed, but Warner Brothers has taken action to remove images from the interwebs of these leaks.
So hey, Warner Brothers, I know you're listening. You got Warner Brothers Interactive, which is your gaming arm, and you typically use NetherRealms or Montreal. So
it's not NetherRealms is not involved with this. That's the only thing I know for sure.
Yeah, they're the ones that typically the Mortal Kombats, and that all gets released through Warner Brothers. That being said, 2 things to learn from Nickelodeon. If you don't have the voice lines, it's not going to matter. People want to hear these characters. And also, if you're not polished and you have like dumb AoE moves like Reptar, no one's going to play this because they're going to find out how hobbled together this game is. That being said, I feel like what it should have been Looney Tunes Kaboom. And it should have been only the Looney Tunes fighting, and then all the WB characters are just season pass characters. Because you really kind of want to focus it. This just feels too much like IP battle instead of like make it about the Looney Tunes fighting each other, because you have a giant roster with that to begin with. Tweety fighting Taz would be great. And then when you add like, let's bring in
Rick Sanchez is one of the confirmed ones.
Yeah, like if they could bring in like the comic book version or the cartoon versions of Batman and Superman, that would make more sense. But if it's going to have like this mesh of live action characters and then not live action.
It is the cartoon versions of so far what it looks like it is the cartoon versions of Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Harley Quinn.
Okay.
With
Gandalf, that'll be. If they get the rotoscope Gandalf from the children's animated movie, cool.
From 1970s.
Yeah.
Hell
yeah. Bring that in.
Yeah, he looks pretty cartoony as well. It looks like they have a blanket aesthetic that they're kind of going for all these characters. So I'll be intrigued to see where that goes. Anyway, that's my new Multiverses.
I'll tell you right now. Also, the good way to do the skins is to have the different versions and iterations of those characters.
Yeah, Gandalf white, Gandalf the gray.
I was gonna say you get the blue suit Batman, you get the Bruce Timm Batman, and then you get
and then it just turns into Arkham style, and you have like 50.
Again, nothing confirmed.
Yeah, I'm just saying. If you do it, this is how you have to do it.
Big ol' wink.
Know what I mean?
This is how you have to do it. That's how you have to do it.
That's the next news.
Awesome. The next part of our show is in which we answer questions from you, the people. And if you would like to submit questions, there are a number of ways that you can do so. But the easiest way to remember all of the ways is go to nerdon.tv/questions, and you can see a form, an email. The easiest way, and the way that I see used the most, is to join our Discord, nerdon.tv/Discord. There are servers within that you can submit your questions. And if you are a member of the Nerd On Nation, powered by Patreon, not only do you get to support us and get a whole bunch of bonus content, but you get what we call the Nerd On Nudge, where we answer your questions first. And you can ask questions like Jeremy M. asks, if you could make a new chimera species of any two existing animals, extant or extinct, what would they be? And what would you name your new species?
Oh, I accidentally entered this on another episode. Crow shark.
Crow shark.
Body of a crow, head of a shark with a fin. Crow shark.
I'm here for it.
Crow shark. Gotta hold on to something while you're flying on it, or swimming on it. So, but I don't know what I'd call it because Krark or Shro doesn't really sound very cool.
No.
Croak. Hammer crow.
Croak. Shroak.
Croak.
Shroak 2.
Sounds like a good Pokemon.
Shroknado.
Shroak the musical. But that would be my pick, or a raven. Shraven.
Okay. How about you, Josh?
On the spot, I think like a common house cat and a dog, like a
Cat dog.
I know, cat dog.
I don't know, but back in town, all kind of criticism that cat dog town.
Exactly. Let's make cat dog.
Okay.
It'd be the most cuddly. It's such a cool.
Is this to have as a pet or just to create an animal?
I think it's just to create.
I would take or you could take a phantom and a boy named Danny. Phantom.
No.
Danny Phantom. Ballsy. That's from Mamba.
Maybe because I'm a monster. I would probably want to combine a pig and a crab.
Oh.
So there's certain crabs on the East Coast.
So a crib
that you can rip their arms off and then throw them back in the ocean because their arms will go back, and that's like a very sustainable way that a lot of like restaurants do it because they don't want to just kill all the crabs. So they just get the arm, rip that off, throw that crab back in the ocean. So you do that with pigs though. And you have bacon forever.
That's good.
Bacon for days. Bacon for years.
You know what I'm saying? And it's highly sustainable. You know what I'm saying?
You right.
I'm trying to make a business and trying to make it's a surf and turf. You know what I'm saying? You got meat and seafood at the same time. It's healthy. Hey. Got omega fats in there. You know, it's you got to bring it to a crab boil, but also bring it to a barbecue.
A crab
at the same
boil.
time.
Bacon of the sea.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to ingest. It's
Bacon
good to enjoy.
Yeah.
We'll can it. We'll sell it in marketplaces.
And I'm calling it a Krig.
A Krig?
Yeah.
Because it sounds dumb.
I thought of it afterwards.
Because it sounds dumb, so it must be good.
And I'm going to say, get the Krig.
Release the Krig.
Krig. That's mine.
Nice. Next question comes from Spencer. I don't know if this question
Shout out.
was answered before, but if you could experience something for the first time again, what would it be? I think for me, it would either
Birth.
be Avengers Endgame or KOTOR.
Oh. Oh, my heart. He knows how to cut to the core of me, Baxter. You guys go. I won't say either of those. You go. Besides Zack Snyder's Justice League, Tom,
Something
what
you
would
can experience
choose?
for the first time again. What would it be? It would probably be. This is the sentimental answer. Maybe the day that my dad gave me my Charizard card. And then this is the real Tom answer.
Aw.
Maybe the time I lost my virginity. Because it was a little Akko Taco for a sec. So
There you go.
I could really go back and be like, I would have liked to have like a great first time. Instead of this like, I'm glad the second time was good, but the first time.
I think it'd be my wedding for sure.
Mm.
There, so much goes by so quickly. Like I only remember the 5 minutes we took, like right after we got married, we took 5 minutes just to ourselves in a room and just was just like, we did it. That's it. We're married. But everything else just goes by so quick that and you're so concerned and doing that thing where you have to check in with everyone at the wedding because everyone wants to check in with you, and so it would be cool to redo that again and then just kind of take it all in because it goes by so quick.
That's actually kind of related to my answer, which is kind of related to the next question. But my honeymoon would be amazing.
There you go.
It was a road trip in Ireland, and it was my first time out of the country, and it was because we didn't have a wedding, we just used the money for the honeymoon, and we just had a great time, and we just got in the car, and sometimes we'd be like, oh, the GPS says there's a castle over here. Yeah, let's go check that out. And we just were like, we have to get from here to here by this time. That's it. So no plans. Let's just go out there. And it was a lot of fun. You learn a lot on a road trip when you're in a marriage,
Yeah.
I think, or in a relationship, period. Next question.
Yes, please.
Okay. Comes from T-Dog8282. What was the first vacation you went outside of the country and how was it? I'll just keep talking because it's the same thing. It was my honeymoon. It was the first time I went out of the country to a European country. And I was just completely just like, Bonnie has traveled a lot around the world. And so she kind of was like the person that like knew what to expect.
The rock.
That it was like, okay, this is what we're going to do next. And this is how we get to point A to point B. And it was just it was a dope honeymoon. It was a dope trip. It's very exciting.
Corey, you and me.
I can go. For me, it was a trip to Mexico to build houses, part of a Rotary Club that my then girlfriend was a part of. And learned more Spanish in those that week I was there than I did in my 2 years I took in school.
Yeah, you're submersed in it.
Most of it was me trying to fit in with her friends. So I didn't love it.
Good times. Good.
They were all kind of preppy, jockey
Cool,
guys,
cool,
and I was the theater kid.
So you fit in real nice.
I was trying to play football with them. Yeah, I was trying to play like tag. They were very nice. They liked me because eventually we were playing football and I dove for a catch and I dislocated my shoulder against a truck. And then I popped it back in.
Like a badass.
Well, because I have my shoulder pops sometimes, and so I knew what to do. So I popped it back in immediately, and they were like, "Whoa, this guy's cool!" And that was my end. Just had to damage myself first
Fucking have
for
to
them
hurt
to like
yourself.
Is that
Don't
how-
do that.
Is
Kid,
that how
boys
life
and
works?
girls at home. Everyone under the age of I don't know. Just don't do that shit. Don't hurt yourself to make other people like you. That's stupid as
No.
shit.
Anyone
it's
under
dumb.
the age of 100, don't do
don't
that.
fucking do that.
Yeah. So that was my first trip. My first trip out of the U.S. was building a house in Tijuana with the Rotary Club of Nevada High School.
Mine is probably the only time I've ever been out of the country was to Thailand. I went as a child, but the one that I actually remember when I was 14 or 13. 13. Was I 13? I might have been 13. I was going into high school. It was 8th grade to freshman year of high school. And my dad, it was on my dad's side. He needed to go visit his family because we had an aunt who was sick. And this is probably one of the last few times he saw her. And so I went up there for a month, and humid area. You learn a lot. You wake up, you're sweating. You take a shower, you're sweating, and you iron your clothes because that's the normal thing you do in Thailand. Also, the national anthem plays every 4 p.m. and everyone stops moving and everyone observes that fucking anthem playing. I got to see pipe like plumbing over my head because the plumbing system there is whack. You really hold your shits because you want to use a real
whack.
toilet.
The plumbing, whack.
And when they don't have plumbing, they have holes in the ground, and you take a little dookie, and you got a little water faucet next to you, and
a little bum gun.
No, a little bucket, and you just give yourself the good old manual bidet, and that being said, then you go back to the restaurant that you're eating at, and it was quite the experience. I definitely got bit by like giant ants. I would wake up slapping my leg and just see a bunch of blood on my hands, and I was like, "Oh, they ate the shit out of me." But I got a lot of good food. Got to see.
You're the buffet, as you have established that you are the buffet.
Yeah. Oh, I am teriyaki sauce to all insects. So Thailand was mine.
Nice.
Is that the last question?
Yeah, you have the
Tom and I can put away some KBBQ when the time calls for it.
Yeah.
I tried to take Bonnie to Korean barbecue the other night, but it was so busy that the wait was so long.
Wow.
No.
It's worth it.
No, it is.
Well, it just depends which one you go to, too.
That's true.
So we'll start out the questions I got from the chat. I got a lot of questions from the last few weeks, so I'm going to try to go through as many as we can, and Josh will just keep time. That being said, we'll start with the first one from tonight, 1992 Johnny Horror. From any Star Wars, if you were a Jedi, who would be your master?
Oh man, good question. Qui-Gon, if he lived. If not, Obi-Wan.
Any Jedi? It has to be a Jedi, right? It can't be a Sith be my master. Okay.
Because I think Qui-Gon was for me, assuming he would live and teach me until I was, you know what I mean? I'm pre-Anakin. I would be Qui-Gon for sure. Like that would be my go-to choice for a Jedi Master. But again, if he is out of the picture because he gets dead, then like Obi-Wan for sure is my choice. Obi-Wan is technically one of the most skilled lightsaber duelists in the universe.
We don't need to curve the expectations for me and Josh.
Hey, I'm just letting you know. For those of you, if you know, you know.
For me, badass motherfucker. Mace Windu, baby.
Yeah. Mace
Windu would teach me because he knows dark and light, baby, and purple. And also, he's probably gonna be like, "Hey, man, get yourself a colorful lightsaber so you could see yourself amongst them all." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know, I feel you." And also, he never really lost a fight. He just got backstabbed. So you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's that.
Josh?
Well, Mace Windu was going to be my answer.
You could do Mace Windu.
Yeah.
Or you could do Yoda.
I'm still going to say Mace Windu.
Choose different.
No.
Yeah.
I know.
Mace Windu boy?
Yeah. I just dug him. Boom.
Yeah.
Solid. Next question. I think this is I think we can make a diverse answer per person. This is from Dougler93. Where does the poop come out of?
I think it was relating to a previous question.
Oh, it's probably like an animal, right?
Yeah.
One of the animals?
Yep.
Well, I'm going to say it comes out of the booty hole. Next question. From Black Diablo Mamba. Oh, I have a question. Will there be a Nerd On haunted house or escape room?
Eventually, yeah.
I like escape rooms a lot.
I'd do an escape room next year.
Okay.
For Halloween.
Yeah. I mean, have you done an escape room, Josh?
I have not. I've never had anybody to go with. There's been so many there's like 3 close to me.
There is like a serial killer one next to me, and I'm like, I want to go to this one. I love puzzles and clues and figuring out kind of like weird questions like that. So, yeah, I could be down for that. I could be really down with that. Next question.
Next question.
All right. From Ethan, who is your favorite what is your favorite fictional pet, and why is it Jeff the Land Shark? Josh?
I think dragons count. Dragonheart.
The Draco?
Draco. I just think, I mean, no, he's not a pet, but kind of. He's a creature, and I like dragons. Dragons are cool.
I like turtles. That's what you just.
turtles.
I like
That's what you
dragons.
just did.
Dragons are cool, so I like dragons. It's like a dinosaur,
Corey?
but better.
I don't know. You know who I always thought had a cool, like, a personality I vibed with was Raja
Okay.
from Aladdin.
I see it.
I always thought he was like chill. I thought he was chill as hell. It was like looking out for people, you know. Didn't trust Aladdin because he was, you know, catfishing her hella hard. But
Not wrong.
yeah, I'll for now I'll say Raja. I'm sure there's an answer I'm missing.
Fictional.
There's some sort of raven or crow that I'm not. The only raven and crows I can think of is Professor Screw Eyes, and those aren't nice crows. I
Fictional.
don't like being alone.
Fictional pet. I mean, it's Appa.
I was just gonna. Yep.
Appa's a big boy. Just
You
wants
take
to
a nap
sleep,
on him.
eat some cabbages, fly around.
My
You know,
cabbages.
the original Airbenders. But Jeff the Land Shark is a cute little one.
That's Deadpool.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
I believe so.
I just
Yes.
didn't remember.
Zell asks, what is your favorite genre of video games? I think that's a pretty good question. Josh?
Favorite genre of video games?
I
Favorite
think
genre of video games.
I know that I have a lot of fun in like cooperative first-person shooters, but the ones that I spend a lot of time in are like great expanding RPGs, like the Final Fantasies or The Witcher 3, like ones that have just like huge open worlds.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I like those ones that keep you busy for months. I'm still working on The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Corey?
For me, it's definitely. I mean, I love turn-based RPGs. I love the type of strategy that comes along with using a certain amount of actions on your turn and strat. It's like, you know, it's like a little game of chess, but you get to build your own pieces. And so, like, much like Knights of the Old Republic, how that's kind of turn-based in a sense, which is why I really love it. You get to pause it, strategize, press play. But like, it all started with Pokemon. Obviously, the turn-based RPGs for me started with Pokemon and went on to the early Final Fantasy games before they switched to the non-turn-based. And I love RPGs.
What's just so I get it right? What's the difference between sandbox and open world? Like the same shit, right? It's just how you
sort of.
explain it.
Yeah.
Okay, because what I was gonna say was like
I couldn't put it into terms for you, honestly.
Yeah, because what I'm gonna say is like it's not really open world. It's like, to me, like a great game is kind of like a Bloodborne or like a Spider-Man, like where it's like it's not open world-ish, but you can kind of go anywhere and you can kind of determine how quickly you progress. Like, to me, open world kind of like, I kind of want to, like, it's a lot for me. It's a lot, and I kind of just want to be like, I want you to tell me a story. I want to be kind of enticed for you to tell me the story as I'm playing it, and I want there to be a very engaging active battle fighting style where like I'm learning and I'm getting better and it's hard, but it's also very like I'm getting better as a player. I can actually feel the developers teaching me how to play their game. So I'm reading in the chat, Sandbox is kind of more like you can build your own, but open to world is just pre-generated world. So I would say, I guess these are kind of open world, but the thing is like with Bloodborne,
so
it's,
yeah. There's overlap, it says, with a lot of them, but Sandbox would be like Minecraft or something like Grand Theft Auto where you don't really require quests to do stuff. You can, but you can also just play the game without doing the story ever.
Yeah. So I think
where open world, there's a story that you have to kind of progress.
Okay, so Spider-Man
but
would be a sandbox, and then Bloodborne would probably be an open world because like you do have to like
you can go
open
anywhere.
Parts of it to like in order to progress and all that stuff. So
that's my understanding.
Okay. Well, yeah. In a perfect blend, it would be like the locomotion of Spider-Man, but the fighting mechanics of Bloodborne. I feel like it's pretty simple, but it's very punishing if you're not on top of it. Next question?
Yeah, next question.
From Thomas Lario, who's smarter, Professor Hulk or the brain from the Brotherhood of Evil? That is a good question. And
I don't think I would know.
Would have to say it's probably Professor Hulk. I feel like the thing is Professor Hulk has to solve problems while the brain from the Brotherhood of Evil has to create problems. And problems are meant to be solved. So who's more adept at proving their intellect? Someone who creates the issue or someone who fixes the issue? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Riddle me this, Batman.
Some people like a steak, some people like a salmon. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? So
whatever Tom says, that's what
my
I say.
answer. I think Professor Hulk, because it is supposed to be like the added sum of intellect between Banner and Hulk. And then Brain from the Brotherhood. He's pretty evil. But also he's smart enough to just make himself like a brain body robot thing. Why couldn't you make yourself have like an actual arm?
Brain body robot thing, baby.
So that's just me.
Brain body robot thing.
Next question?
Sure.
Yeah. We got like
Gamer
Fuji
Fuji asks another question. What's a game that you like but don't feel was perfect? And what would you change to make it so?
That's a really good question. Okay, this is a throwback. First one that comes to mind. I day one bought Army of Two when it came out. To play online with my buddy. I was living in New York at the time. Played Tasty Money. Shout out. And we bought Army of Two, and it was a really fun game. It's not perfect by any means, but we had a blast playing through the whole thing. Like it was one of those games that like I'd get home from work and I'd be like, "Are you on?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm getting on right now." But the last boss, you play through this whole game, you're chasing this guy, and I think I remember you telling me this is a cinematic. You don't get to fight him. It's not even a action
quick time event. Yeah.
It's not a quick time event. It's just you get to the rooftop and then the game cinematically plays out and you don't get to kill him yourself. And it was just such a boner killer because you're just like, I want to kill this guy. So I think either Army of Two was pretty good, or Mercenaries 2 also was so fun.
Josh? You guys probably know my answer. Fallout 76. Yeah. I love that game.
Destiny 2.
I love Fallout 76. I've gained some really amazing friends that it's a great community. I had a lot of fun with it until I didn't. And they keep releasing content that's just like, they kind of release boring content that they give no inspiration to continue. For people that are like high level like I am, there's no, for me anyway, I know that there are people that are still actively playing and love the game, but they don't.
More power to them.
Yeah, all power to them. I think that's amazing. But for me, they give no inspiration to really.
Incentive to return.
Yeah, exactly. Right? The replayability of something like that, like, I didn't even feel inspired to finished the last DLC for the Brotherhood of Steel, I was kind of like, it was almost like I felt scorned. Like a friend of mine, we were talking about it when we started playing Back 4 Blood. It was just like, I feel like they keep releasing content and putting this really nice paint on it and making it seem like it's all about spin, making it seem like, this is really cool. And then you get into it and you're like, bro, it would have taken me.
This is the same stuff.
This is the same. It's the same. And I don't care.
Yeah, and they got to do something like I will give it credit where credit's due. World of Warcraft, when they released an expansion, there's been some flops, obviously. Like I could be in the minority for this, but I wasn't a huge fan of Mists of Pandaria, and I was not a big fan of the last expansion they released. Battle for Azeroth was the thing about them though is they unlock new parts of this map, so you literally have a new world to explore every time with new missions. Like when Cataclysm came out. Cataclysm for World of Warcraft was huge because they literally, a dragon in the storyline flew over the map and scorched the earth. So you had these places that you've known for years that were just torn apart.
Yeah.
And so credit where credit's due, you need something like that.
Yeah, it's
76.
like Fallout,
you need
like
some game world changing event.
Yeah, they released 2 of these like major world bosses, and that was almost 2 years ago. Yeah. And we haven't seen anything new but events that they keep recycling. And you're like, cool, bro. This is dope. Nope.
My answer would probably be I'll do kind of an easy one because I have thought about this a lot. Pokemon Sword and Shield. And the thing I would change about it is just restructuring the story of the game, because so in every Pokemon game, like the normal thing is you battle people so you can get some things, so you can go to the end game, like battle royale spot, and then you use your team that you trained up and you have a rival, and there's always this organization or this weird kind of subplot to deal with, like the legendary Pokemon. Now, in this game in particular, all that is saved up for the very end. So you're playing the game and you're just like, okay, cool. My team's getting stronger. I'm catching new things. I'm in this new town. I'm learning the new mechanics of the wild area, which is fun and cool. But like, I don't know where these legendary Pokemon are going to pop up. And it isn't until right before you quote unquote beat the campaign of the game where you win against the Elite Four in the Pokemon League, which again, they've updated, reskinned to make it look all more appealing. You as a player just kind of feel like this is so truncated and thrown at the end, preventing you from actually beating the game. And you're thrown into the story that you don't care about because you have no connection. There is no like antagonistic team working against you like the predecessors had. And so where I say like the story overall needs to change, because players should want to feel like they're accomplishing things, right? And then secondary, you want them to feel like they want to collect Pokemon. And so if you kind of change the story and how it's paced out and have a longer end game, because there's no real post game after the Pokemon League other than you getting a Dynamax Charizard and then capturing the legendary Pokemon at the very end, which typically has never happened. You typically capture the legendary Pokemon before you even get to the Elite Four, which I think is good because it does feel very weird that you caught this like legendary ultimate Pokemon and now you have to battle some random casuals who couldn't fucking do it.
Right.
And then, so if they do it where like, yeah, the legendary Pokemon you capture at the end, you're now the champion, yada, yada, that's fine. But then they have to add like 3 or 4 more hours of gameplay of like, now you're going on to this place where not even the champion's gone before, like a Mount Moon or like a Mount Silver or like these 4 islands where like, the people who train the strongest trainers are now there. You're like, oh my God. And they like kind of exiled themselves from ever like training Pokemon. So they only have one Pokemon and they're really, really good. And it's like really, really strong. And it's like, it feels hard and it feels challenging. And then finally, when you like beat them, then it unlocks the sacred like resting place of this legendary Pokemon that you worked with, that you used in the story. But now you get to capture it. And now it feels like, okay, cool. Like, it feels good. It doesn't feel like this truncated bull crap. And then like once you beat the Indigo Plateau, you're kind of like, I'm done. Or the Pokemon League, you're like, I'm done. I don't need to play.
Scene.
Yeah, and games that have allowed you, Pokemon games that have allowed you to want to play more because they open a new region, or you could battle the gyms again, or capturing a legendary Pokemon, or capturing the roaming Pokemon. Those are the games that actually like, okay, cool. You've found a way
But you
to
can
make
Dynamax.
you found a way to make this $40 to $60 game be worth more, and I think that's really the trick to a Pokemon game, is to make it feel like it's worth the time, worth the cost.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be long, but it has to feel well paced out.
Bro, that's why I'm jumping back into the silver and pearl. I mean silver.
The silver and pearl,
Platinum and pearl when they come out.
You mean the ruby and white?
Yeah, ruby and white. No, platinum and pearl, because it was exactly that. Like that to me is like one of my favorite, besides red, just for nostalgia reasons. But I thought platinum and pearl were such a good game because they provided that kind of experience. You can go in the caves later and dig around in the caves, and anyway, Giratina, all that stuff.
I think that should be the last question. Yeah, that is this week's update. Everybody at home, thank you so much for watching. If you are on YouTube or live here on Twitch, Mondays, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is when we go live. Thank you for everybody that's hanging out in the chat. If you're listening on your favorite podcast app, thank you so much for listening. That means a lot. We appreciate you. Please stop by, rate and review wherever you are listening or watching. Share us with your friends, your family.
God.
Share us with your family.
Oh my God, like a family plan? That's what I just remembered. Oh God.
Share us with your family. You can remember all of this housekeeping if you go on over to our website, nerdon.tv. It has all of that information, all of the links, all of our episodes. We're nearing 400 total that Nerdon has made. So many. And another little Illuminati. One little piece of housekeeping, since we do housekeeping at the end. I'm going to throw this in there. Get 20% off and free shipping over on manscaped.com with the promo code NERDON. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com.
Buy one for a Christmas present for someone.
Yeah, Christmas present.
Buy it for yourself.
They have new products coming out soon that they were telling us about. So check it out. Check them out.
It's 20% on everything. So use it on everything, baby.
Yep. And that's a big discount. So that's it. That is the episode. Thank you so much. We heart you all. Take care of yourselves. You know the drill. As always, nerd on.
Nerd on.